today we're gonna make a new recipe. It's an Italian recipe called Involtini con la Verza, which in English means savoy cabbage rolled up, stuffed with ground beef. Involtini is a really traditional dish in Italy. It's not very used here, but I think you will find it delicious. So here is our ingredients for today. We have our savoy cabbage, which is a variety of cabbage with larger leaves, and it goes really well for steaming and stuffing. We have 1 pound of ground beef. They came from the half steer that I bought from our Chaffin family farms, our local farmer, and is of course grass-fed and grass-finished. Then there is 2 eggs that my ducks were so kind to lay this morning. And we have cassava flour. You can find more details about this in the recipe and a link where to buy it if you need it. We have some herbe di Provenza, also called herbe de Provence, pardon my horrible French accent. And you will also find some information on where to get that if you need to. And then regular red peppers, some Celtic sea salt, and some freshly grinding black pepper. You're gonna need a glass Pyrex for the oven, and then a big pot with water that we're gonna boil the cabbage in. So let's get started. What we're gonna do, we're gonna clean our cabbage in the bottom. You might have to cut a little indentation around the bottom so that you'll be able to peel off the rest of the slices. And sometimes it might be easier to start from the top, sometimes from the bottom. Just try to get them off all in one piece. Okay, now we got our leaves. I'm going to set them aside, and in the meantime I'm going to prepare the beef. Okay, we're going to put our ground beef in a bowl, and I'm breaking it up a bit with my hands, and I'm going to break the eggs in it. I'm just going to mix these a bit so that I start mixing in the egg. I'm going to add a good pinch of our herbe de Provence. I like it a bit spicy, so a good pinch of my red chili pepper, and I'm going to add the cassava flour on top of it. I'm going to put a nice pinch of Celtic sea salt and a nice grind of fresh black pepper. There we go. And what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to mix it by hand so that we get a nice even mixture. And here is my nice mixture with a good consistency. As you can see, it's all well blended, and it's going to be easy to stuff our cabbage with it. While we were working on the beef, I put some hot water to heat on the stove, and now that is boiling, I am going to put my cabbage leaves in to boil for a few minutes, making sure not to break them. While our cabbage is cooking, I am taking my Pyrex, and I took a little bit of your fat of choice. In this case, I used some ghee, and just lightly coat the bottom. As you can see, our cabbage is almost ready. I just made sure that they're all underwater, and so they are going to cook evenly. We just want them cooked enough that they're flexible so we can roll them. Now that our cabbage leaves are ready, I'm going to pour out the water, and maybe we'll pour in a bit of cold water just so they're cool enough for us to handle. Okay, so now we got our setup ready. Here I got a really nice perfect leaf, and try to make them about all the same size so they will not cook unevenly. Place it right here and gently wrap it in the leaf and fold it under. Voila, this one came out perfect. Perfetto. Okay, here we go. We roll them all up nicely. Now I'm going to take my ghee and give it a nice buttery on top. The final touch is a tiny little sprinkle of herbs on top. Same herb de Provence that we use for the inside. Okay, we're ready for the oven. Okay, so here is our involtini. I preheated the oven to 350 and now I'm going to stick them in there for about 45 minutes. Okay, so 45 minutes have passed and now we're ready to take out our involtini. Let's check them out. There they are. And they look pretty good. So, as you can see, it was easy, didn't take very long, and here you have a delicious dish. So, buon appetito, we'll see you at the dinner table.
Posso stare anche un'ora senza